Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you the play-by-play how I made $5,100 in shares of NVDA, ticker symbol NVDA, and how I showed that trade and shared it in real time with my Clubhouse members through real-time text messages, through emails, and through video. And I also actually did a YouTube live broadcast on the trade. So let me show you guys a step-by-step, play-by-play how I did this trade and how it worked out. So on May the 10th, shares of NVIDIA gapped higher meaningfully, and you can see just very simply on the chart that the stock had visibly broken out of a consolidation phase that it had been here for some time, and we looked at that as a breakaway gap. And so to me, the logical conclusion here was very quickly to get long that stock through a combination of a couple of different things. Now, the first thing I did on an intraday basis, I actually went ahead and I bought some stock. This is the intraday chart that day. Once it started breaking above the 10-minute range, we bought some stock, and we ended up actually holding that stock for a few days. That's why we made, in I think 3.5 days on that stock, we made 15%. Okay, 3.5 days, 15% based on this simple breakaway gap. Now, in addition to what I did, I also sold some put spreads. Now, one could have bought calls and could have bought call spreads, but here's what I did, and here's the actual text message that I sent out to my members in real time. You can ignore the timestamp here because I was in Europe at the time, so it was a different time. But this I sent in the morning on the 10th of May, and I told them I sold a July 110-105 put spread for a net credit of 130, and the stop loss and so on and so forth. The very next day, we took a third of profits, and the day after we took even more profits, and a couple days later we closed the full position. Meanwhile, I remained long the stock. So how did we do this? And by the way, here's the blog and the morning video of the Thursday, the 11th, where I followed up on this. Here again is the trade idea. So again, just for transparency purposes, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible so you guys can see how this works. Also, I went on YouTube live, like for the public, on the 10th of May, and I made a whole broadcast in real time how this works. So how do we make this money? Why was it such a clear trade? Well, for one, this has been a stock or a company that continues to grow wildly. Investor optimism, at least on an institutional front, is very, very high, and the fund flow is really speaking the same language. In other words, people are putting the money where their mouth is. This trade, this breakout after earnings here, came after the stock had been consolidating for, let's call it, 4.5 months or so, roughly speaking, and the stock really just did a breakaway gap. The important thing here was not to fade the move or not to doubt it, because the nature of the move is so strong that the breakaway gap just doesn't favor any odds of the gap closing, particularly, and that's why it's important to also in those kind of trades watch the intraday action on that day, at least for the first couple hours of the day. That's a trade that we did. Again, you can see the real-time text messages here. You can see the timestamps here. And again, the reason why we did the trade was because the breakaway gap after earnings, huge volume. There was a lot of people that were kind of doubting that stock for some time. There was a decent amount of put positions that were being opened for some time, and a lot of people got squeezed in the trade. So the way we ended the trade is I bought a stock position, made 15% of that, just closed that the other day, over 3.5 trading days. I think it was 3.5, yeah, about 3.5 trading days, made 15%. And then on those short call spreads that I did, which is some people like to call that type of trade a bull put spread, and there too we made a great deal of money. So to me personally, my personal account, that came to about $5,100 over the course of a few days in an NVIDIA trade. I hope this is helpful, guys. I do, by the way, have courses on this entire idea around the gaps, how you can make money with that. Also, guys, I want to invite you to a very special webinar on trading gaps on Thursday, the 18th of May. It's at 7 p.m. Make sure you sign up in the link down below the video, and I'll see you guys in the next